On this Thursday night, a plea to slow down and pay attention after video online shows a woman with a stroller nearly getting hit by a car.
Get the out of your car! No!
Confrontation caught on camera. Residents say they're seeing more drivers taking shortcuts through their neighborhood due to LRT construction. Plus,
I think we're gonna stun some people and really put up some good numbers and be a team that contends.
the boys of summer are back, but with a whole new roster. And could this be the world's largest natural pearl? A Mississauga man thinks it might be, and he's looking for a place to show it off. Good evening, I'm Mike Wise. There are renewed calls tonight for drivers to be extra careful in residential areas after surveillance video caught a car nearly running over a woman pushing a stroller near Mount Pleasant and Eglinton. Kelda Yoon spoke to the man who took the video.
It's a startling video. A woman crossing the street with a stroller. A driver ignoring the stop sign, almost hitting her.
There's a child in this! There's a stop sign!
And then, she jumped on the car. I'm like, okay, this is like getting crazy. And then the part that gets me is at the end, somebody else came through the intersection and drove around the stroller.
Ryan Bessie posted the video online this morning. It happened right outside the home he shares with his wife and daughter, 1 block south of Eglinton Avenue East.
For the people that live here, it's, every day we have to put up with, all this excess traffic.
Residents say LRT construction on Eglinton has prompted many drivers to find detours on residential streets. Bessie's wife, Hishke, says many cars go too fast while failing to stop properly.
It's getting worse and worse. People are getting hit, accidents, and near hit.
In fact, just a few months ago, the Bessies captured this at the exact same spot.
Both of them slowed down but didn't completely stop. And then they both went at the same time and just collided in the middle of the intersection.
For the many parents in the neighborhood, it's especially worrying.
One misstep by one of our kids and it could end in tragedy.
The counselor for the area, Jay Robinson, said tonight she has taken action.
The minute we saw the video, we actually reached out to 53 Division to talk to the senior officials at 53 about what we can do. They actually sent officers out and have committed to sending officers out to that intersection more regularly. We also put into Transportation Services immediate request for watch your speed signs, and we asked for 2.
But most importantly, she wants to remind people.
We need to slow down, take a deep breath.
Kelda Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
A Niagara police officer has been charged with attempted murder after shooting a fellow officer in November.
Detective Sergeant Shane Donovan has been charged by the Ontario Special Investigations Unit with 3 offences. Those offences are attempted murder, aggravated assault, and assault with a weapon.
Those charges come 4 months after a high-profile shooting at a crossroads in rural Pelham. Constable Nathan Parker was seriously injured in the attack. More job losses are coming to Ontario's auto sector. Fiat Chrysler Automobiles announcing today it is terminating its 3rd shift at its Windsor assembly plant. The shift has been in place since 1993, and the union says that'll put about 1,500 people out of work.
People's lives, 1,500. Direct families depend on us. And we're going to do everything possible to make sure that we maintain 3 shifts at Windsor Assembly Plant. Our product in Windsor is #1 in the world. Everybody knows it. And everybody knows if you want to build it right, you build it in Windsor.
The plant will return to a 2-shift production in September. Fiat Chrysler saying the decision behind the layoffs is to better align production with global demand. A spokesperson says that retirement packages will be offered to employees who are eligible. And the Premier has weighed in on this tonight in a statement saying, in part, I will be speaking to the President of FCA Canada, Reid Bigland, and to Unifor President Jerry Dias to urge them to work with us to protect these jobs. My message is to Fiat Chrysler is this: do not make this decision based on the anti-business policies of the former government over the past 15 years. There has never been a better time for auto manufacturers to invest in the province of Ontario. And police in Vaughan are asking for help in finding a 24-year-old man. Simi Abrams was last seen a week ago when he walked out of Mackenzie Health Hospital. That's near Bathurst in Major Mac.
Simi may have found a shelter. It may be a makeshift shelter. It could be something as simple as a shed, an abandoned home. He could be seeking refuge in an ATM kiosk, an overnight coffee shop, McDonald's, Tim Hortons. The purpose of this appeal today is to ask the members of our community, especially if you live on a rural property, embrace spring, get out there, go for a walk, check your rural property, check any outbuildings that you have on that property. For people living in more suburban and populated areas, please pay attention to the images and the videos of Simi.
Now, police released this video of Simi. Police say that Abrams was captured on this video at a nearby Walmart where he purchased some food and other items. And speaking today at a news conference, his father had a message for his son.
Please know you are not in trouble. We just want to get you back safe and well. There will be no questions, expectations, or judgments. We just want you back. I hope we are reunited very soon so we can do that trip, a cool trip that we talked about doing, and spending all of our time together. I love you. Come back soon.
Police have also found Abrams' wallet and cell phone in a wooded area near Bathurst and Teston Road. He was last seen wearing a white toque, dark winter coat, and jeans. Now, they believe he is still wearing that clothing. If you see him, please call 911 immediately. Colette Kennedy's here with the first look at the forecast. Another mild day on tap for Friday.
Yeah, it's looking good. Maybe not quite as mild as today, but you're right, Mike. We're still going to see those temperatures feeling pretty good, and then things change. All bets are off for the weekend. We'll get more into that a little bit later, but our average high this time of year, 6.8. Unofficially, we were just over 11 degrees, and even our low this morning at freezing. It's a little bit above seasonal. We should still be in the negatives. So a couple of things happening, a little bit of instability, so some scattered showers through the overnight, kind of here and there, pockets of that possible, and then some of the clouds still hanging in the morning, but otherwise we'll see into the afternoon lots of sunshine. A nice day Friday. Temperatures not as mild as today, but still upper single digits. It's into Saturday. This next batch of moisture is going to come in to the north of the GTA. Some light snow is possible and some significant rain through Saturday into Sunday morning before this clears out of the way for us into our weekend. So I'll go into more detail about how much rain we'll be seeing overnight tonight, though. 1 degree with a few scattered showers possible, and 9 degrees with afternoon sunshine tomorrow, Mike. Looking good.
All right. Thanks a lot, Colette.
You're welcome.
WOW Air is no more tonight. The Iceland-based airline shutting down operations, leaving people, including passengers here in Toronto, stuck. Makta Gabriselassie caught up with some of them at Pearson today.
I invited to come at 8:30.
Confused passengers with no place to go. This video posted online from Pearson as WOW Air flights were canceled last night. And this morning, a complete shutdown of the airline.
People freaked out, had panic attacks, everything just melted down as it should because everybody's angry. No one had answers.
Whitney Lukusevich and her husband Ivan were among those left stranded in Toronto. After the news this morning that the discount airline was shutting down, they were scrambling to find another way.
And just disappointing, so like something like this can happen and nothing you can do about it. Just like they just can cancel a flight that you booked like a long time ago and just destroy all your plans.
They've been on the phone trying to find other flights. Meanwhile, Ann Campbell is unpacking her bags.
We were just about to board. I would say it was about 20 minutes before we were going to board, and we saw the plane come in. All the people got off, and we're getting ready, and all of a sudden they come on the speakers and say, oh, by the way, this is canceled. The flight will not take off, and you're going to have to go get your baggage.
WOW Air has told its customers to try to book flights with other companies. This associate professor with the Schulich School of Business says he's not surprised by WOW's downfall. He has some advice for passengers looking to book with discount airlines.
Go to the website, look at the financials, see if they are losing money, if they're in a negative cash flow position, and if they are, be very wary.
He suggests passengers get travel insurance or rely on the insurance on their credit cards. That's what this couple is doing.
Now we're just on a new flight going.
They're lucky because they have found another way. They're leaving on a jet plane tonight with another airline, but it's costing them another $1,300. Another airline, Iceland Air, is offering discounted rates to stranded passengers on the return flights. But a lot of these passengers still need to make it to their destinations in Europe, and that means they'll have to pay a lot more. Magda Gebrselassie, CBC News, Toronto.
The boys of summer are back. The Jays held their home opener today. Now, spoiler alert, they lost in extra innings. I'll have those highlights a little later. But before the game, our Greg Ross caught up with fans to see how they're feeling about this upcoming roster and upcoming season.
Baseball is back.
I'm super excited to be here, ecstatic to play in front of a whole country.
Fans are also feeling the excitement of a home opener, but not all are confident it will last.
You think this is going to be a year where it might be a tough sell for Jays fans if they're not winning?
I think so.
I don't think so. I think they have a chance.
The Blue Jays come into this season with a roster of virtual unknowns. Players like Rowdy Tellez, Freddie Galvis, and Brandon Drury. They're tasked with replacing a number of established veterans who left the team in the offseason. It has expectations low, and it could mean the same for attendance numbers.
They'll pack the place today. People will be excited. They'll be enthusiastic about the team, and then tomorrow hits. And then that's what reality is. And when you see what Tuesday crowds and Monday crowds are, you know, until we realize that, I think this is Baltimore and Toronto fighting for last place in the American League East.
Blue Jay players disagree.
I think we're gonna stun some people and really put up some good numbers and be a team that contends.
My first year here, it was that way. We started winning games, and by the halfway point, we were selling out every day. So that's, you know, that's always the goal. Is, you know, you win games, and the fans are going to show up.
But even if the Jays aren't winning, some fans say there are things they can do to keep them interested.
What's it going to take to keep this place full?
A lot of home runs, probably.
They have to be close. They have to be in it.
Some fan interaction from the players, which we've already seen here today.
The official attendance for today's home opener was just over 45,000 fans at the Rogers Centre. It'll be interesting to see what kind of drop-off they have, if any, when the Blue Jays meet the Tigers Friday for Game 2 of this 4-game weekend series. Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
Is a Mississauga man holding what could be the largest pearl in the world? Coming up in a few minutes, how he got it, what it could be worth, and what he wants to do with it.
I want to find a place for it to be showcased. For the pearl, it has scientific importance. I believe the world should know that it does exist.
This is a developing story we are following. This is a live shot of a residence where a woman was shot through her front door in the near Markham Road in Eglinton area. The call coming in just before 10 o'clock. The woman apparently heard a knock at the door, and when she went to enter it, someone shot through that door. A male suspect fled. The woman has been taken to hospital with serious but not life-threatening injuries. Well, if you don't have a beer store near you, you soon won't have to worry. The provincial government says it is working on getting beer and wine into corner stores.
Treating people like adults and expanding the sale of beer and wine to corner stores, grocery stores, and big box stores. This was a core promise of Premier Ford, a core promise that our government campaigned on. And it is a promise that we all intend to deliver on.
Vic Fideli says the government is offering consumers more choice when it comes to where they can purchase booze. The finance minister gave no timeline for the move, but said it will drive down prices on beer and wine. Fideli says Ontario currently has the lowest density of retail outlets selling alcohol in Canada. A Mississauga man owns what experts say is the world's biggest natural pearl. Until now, it's only been seen by a handful of people, but now he is looking for a place where he can show it off.
I have something I bet you've never seen before that only exists in myths and legends. Let me show you. And this is my pearl. At first they thought it was because I'm into art, it's a sculpture of a pearl, of a giant pearl. But no, I'm like, this is a pearl. When I was a kid, I would always visit my aunt. She's a prolific collector. And when we saw the clam and the pearl, all we always think about is The Little Mermaid. She would tell us stories when we were younger that, here in the Philippines, you read books about pirates and the jungle. You're living in it. That's what they're telling us. But to us as children, we thought that these are only in imagination, and we didn't really put importance to it at that time. We believe that it's over 1,000 years old. The size is 27.65 kilos. I've always told people that it's almost like the size of a cow's head. The auction house told me that what is someone willing to pay for it? So we called Hong Kong and we called New York. They said we could try to give you a valuation, but it's going to be totally different from everyone that gives you a valuation. This is really for a collector. Yeah. After it was certified, I wanted to do something very special for it. And the octopus is made out of bronze, and it's been gilded with 22 karat gold. The eyes are 500 carats each, almadine garnet. The meaning to me with the gold color was success. Then it brings out the treasure from within. I want to find a place for it to be showcased. For the pearl, it has scientific importance. I believe the world should know that it does exist. Even when people don't know what it is, they are drawn to it.
Coming up, today's home opener was a classic pitchers duel that ended up going into extra innings. We'll have highlights from the first Jays game of the season when we come back.
The weather update is brought to you by Train Extreme Conditions Testing. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand.
Baseball is back in Toronto, even if expectations for this year's team are kind of low. Marcus Stroman getting the start in this one. He looks sharp, going 7 scoreless innings, striking out 7, allowing just 2 hits. But Detroit starter Jordan Zimmerman was even better, retiring 20 straight Blue Jays. The game was still scoreless into extra innings. Top of the 10th, Jays reliever Daniel Hudson in trouble with 1 on. Kristen Stewart hits a 2-run blast into the second deck. Tigers win this one 2-0. The Raptors facing the NBA's worst team, the New York Knicks. Kawhi Leonard getting the night off. Kyle Lowry tossing an alley-oop from midcourt. Pascal Siakam finishes it off. Later in this quarter, Marc Gasol with a bounce pass to Danny Green. He drains the 3. Siakam was dominant all night, and as were the Raptors, they cruised to an easy win, 117-92. And Denis Shapovalov in a quarterfinal showdown at the Miami Open. It was a back-and-forth battle in the first set against Francis Tiafoe, who ended up taking the first set 6-7. Second set, Tiafoe gets Shapovalov running into the net. He answers with a lethally perfect drop shot. He'd go on to take that set 6-4 and force a third, where he would take a commanding lead and eventually win 6-2, moving through to the semifinals, where he's going to face Roger Federer. Colette Kennedy's back with her extended forecast. And just as I was getting used to these mild temperatures, along comes the weekend.
Yeah, I know. You know, sometimes we get lucky and sometimes the inclement weather comes in time for a weekend. Looks like it's going to be kind of a split decision in terms of sky conditions, but colder air is definitely coming. Winter kind of peeking back in this weekend. Overnight tonight, looking at some of the cloud cover, a few isolated to scattered showers seen, but into the morning hours, here it is 8 a.m. Now near the lakeshore could still be some cloud cover in there, but we're really seeing another ridge, a weaker one, but another ridge kind of building in. That'll give some sunshine. It won't be as mild as today, but a nice day on tap Friday. So I do want you to know that tomorrow's going to be a day to enjoy the weather. It's that as we go into the weekend, this next system moves in Friday night into Saturday. Could see even a little bit of a mix into the GTA, but primarily it will be a rain event in terms of how it looks like it's tracking. But some wet snow with some accumulations possible into cottage country, 3 to 5 centimeters as this rolls through. In terms of that rain, carrying on as we head Saturday into Sunday, and then we'll get into a clearing trend, but still some instability, so we could have a few wet flurries. I put the risk in the forecast. Otherwise, I think we will get into a nice clearing trend Sunday and get some sunshine coming back at us. Now, in terms of the rainfall amounts that we'll see as the system moves through, it's looking like as we go through the day Saturday, some periods of heavier rain at times. So we'll take this through towards the end of the day Saturday, between 15 and 20 millimeters for the city. You can see towards Hamilton, around the Niagara Peninsula, could be, in some cases, almost double that. And then, of course, it's more of a wet snow situation the further north and northwest you go. Overnight tonight, some showers through southwestern Ontario, 3 for the overnight low. Tomorrow afternoon, I put some cloud cover in. That ridge and that next system moving in are going to be kind of battling it out. So we could have some scattered showers still into the morning hours. I'm thinking into the afternoon we're going to get some sunshine, but it's going to be kind of, you're on the line there in southwestern Ontario. Overnight tonight, very odd showers here and there, 0 to 1 degree for the overnight lows. And then tomorrow with sunshine in the afternoon, 9 to 10 degrees for our highs. Mostly we'll be talking about 9 degrees around the GTA. And then it's Friday night into Saturday. Colder temperatures we see. Sunday still breezy and chillier. And then we start to step it up as we go into next week. Little by little, we'll see the temperature going back up again, Mike.
Okay, thanks, Colette.
No problem.
On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Top, and all class.
Well, at the Royal Alexandra Theatre tonight, opening night for the musical Dear Evan Hansen. We'll take you to the red carpet after the break. It was opening night for Dear Evan Hansen at the Royal Alexandra Theatre. It's also its international debut, the first time the Tony Award-winning Best Musical has played outside the U.S. It's about a teen's struggle with mental health and acceptance. 17-year-old Evan Hansen finds himself at the center of tragedy when one of his classmates dies.
One of the reasons that we wanted to have an all-Canadian cast is because it is so important that this show feels like it's the audience's.
They're also really acting even more because they also have told us, like, there are many moments in the show. I remember them saying this where they're like, the way that the characters really get into big arguments and fights, they're like, that's very American. Like, we don't go crazy like that here.
The cast walking the blue carpet there. As they mentioned, the Toronto production features an all-Canadian cast, but the Americans behind the show say the message about acceptance is universal. Toronto shows are scheduled until the end of June.
You can't have, somebody, a bylaw enforcement officer, walking behind every citizen who might throw down a coffee cup. The key is, as with many of these things, a change in human behavior.
That's Mayor John Tory. He was at Nathan Phillips Square today, reminding people to sign up for Toronto's 16th annual Spring Cleanup. The citywide cleanup of public spaces will take place April 26th to the 28th, involving some 200,000 residents, students, businesses, organizations, and community groups. You can register to take part in the cleanup online. You can go to the City of Toronto website and search Clean Toronto Together. Well, that's our show for tonight. I'll see you back here tomorrow night at 11. Good night.